Town. I told you I would make a...
Hell's going on there?
I'm making good on the bet from last week or the week before.
Yeah, it doesn't fucking remember.
Yeah, what was the bet?
This is how I do my makeup now.
Okay.
I'm Brutus Beefcake. I'm going to give you a haircut.
Oh, that always drove me nuts. Hello, everybody. This is the BREWDCAST. I am, as always, Bud Robinson, and yes, I am a dummy. With me tonight is the venerable Town and the adorable Leon. What did you say, adorable Leon?
I said, that's why it's on its head.
That's exactly right. Say hi, Leon.
Dummy.
No, I said, say hi, Leon.
Hi, Leon.
That's better. So what the heck are we talking about tonight, Town?
I think we're just going to talk about what's going on in the world of professional wrestling. We're probably going to talk about the Double or Nothing pay-per-view. But we got to remember our segment, Leon's News. That's what we're going to open with.
Yes.
Leon, what do you got for news this week?
So, apparently...
Not personal news, wrestling news.
So, what?
Not personal
what?
News. I can't focus when I'm looking at your cat. Your cat's, like, plotting to murder you. Because cats are evil. Okay, go ahead, Leon.
So apparently the injury bug has hit, well, all of professional wrestling this week.
Yeah.
Punk went out with an injury. Danielson has a concussion.
He does not have a concussion.
No? Okay,
he does
good.
Not have a concussion. That's not confirmed.
Good.
I literally just read that. Yeah.
Okay. That's I'm, hours of sleep behind you, so. Why couldn't he fly then? Did you hear?
I don't know, but they said he doesn't have a concussion. That's all I know. It's something else that's going on. I don't know the ins and outs. I could be proven wrong, but Wrestling Observer just said that he does not have a concussion.
Okay, we'll trust Dave on it.
Good old Dave.
This time.
Who else? Cody apparently tore the shit out of his...
Did you see the pictures of that?
Yeah, I did. Why the fuck did he even get in the ring? Good God.
The more
Holy shit!
Yeah, the more that Cody does this run in WWE, the more I like Cody. Because, like I said last time, like, Cody's living the dream every one of us has. You go, you say fuck you to WWE, you start your own company, and then they beg you to come back, you get all this money, you get hot shot it to the main event, and then he gets hurt like that. And instead of just going home and being like, fuck it, he went out and had a match. And it was a good match. I didn't see it. It was good. Did you watch it? I didn't watch it.
No, I haven't watched it. I'm a bit behind on the E. Despite all of our misgivings about it, I still plow through and,
Normally I watch the the premium live events, as they are now called. I watch those. But I think I missed this one, and then I missed probably the last couple ones. I watched Mania. That was the last thing I watched. So
yeah,
they don't have me. I'm interested in Cody, I guess. I don't know. And like I said, the Roman Reigns thing just kind of has me, man, he's gone. So I wonder what they're going to do, because Cody's now hurt, and he obviously is going to, he can't wrestle for a while.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to have surgery. Roman Reigns is shooting a movie.
What?
When it sounds like Roman Reigns is pulling back the reins. Yeah,
he's shooting a movie, and his dates are now limited. He got a new contract, so he's like on a Brock Lesnar schedule.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Not probably quite as bad as Brock, but he's not doing as many dates. So they're not going to have a champion on TV pretty much for all of June, July, and like part of August. But Cena's coming back. Does that matter? Does it matter that John Cena's coming back?
I mean, he doesn't have the title to shoot for. He's just going to be an attraction at that point, I guess.
Does he not have the title to shoot for, though? Probably not if Reigns has it.
Yeah, if Roman if Roman has it and he's not there, yeah, it's.
I'm going to be absolutely stunned if they don't give him one more title reign to beat Ric Flair. I will be absolutely stunned if they don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't know if he wants it at
see
this
that.
point. I could see him being totally content with just being tied with Nage.
Well, Nage has like way more than that, but that's just creative counting of he has 16.
Well,
and he really has like 40. But
yeah,
I guess it's a good point. I didn't even
one-day international tour hot shots. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because I don't know. I'm curious what the E's going to do because they don't have the guys they need now. Losing Punk hurts AEW big time.
Yeah. Apparently Scorpio's hurt too.
Not bad. Scorpio's probably going to miss a little time. Is Punk supposed to be on TV or is he just going to be off of TV?
I imagine he'll be on.
I honestly haven't even read. I didn't see the. I haven't even watched Rampage at this point yet. I didn't
either. I was out and about doing stuff. I like the interim title. I think that's a good idea. I think that's creative. I think they're doing something different than vacant. I think it's
kind of sticking with the what they're making it sports-like, because if a UFC champ or whatever gets hurt and can't defend, they do it this way. So I like it in that effect. And then
who's gonna win the interim championship?
Honestly, before the possible not concussion, I was thinking Bryan. So I could have seen him challenging.
Well, they've got Moxley in the main event of that show. He gets the automatic because he's the number one contender.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's going to lose. I think whoever wins the Battle Royal is going to beat him.
Could be Joe.
Yep.
Could be Joe.
Because that would be an amazing setup for Punk versus Joe.
Eventually.
Okay.
MJF.
From the lies. And then more, let's see. Apparently, Juice Robinson is going to be out for a minute with an appendicitis over an MJ.
Jesus.
Old fucked up his shoulder.
Yeah.
And something with Jeff Hardy, too. Like, I had seen his stuff about all that going on.
I think he got a concussion.
He got wrecked. There are claims that he got wrecked during the Darby Allin match. And that he's just all around beaten up.
I'm shocked.
Who you, Cole?
No, Hardy.
Oh, Jeff, okay, yeah.
Yeah, Jeff. There's two Hardys. Why did... I
Jeff
forgot
Hardy,
for a moment there's more than one Hardy.
Jeff Hardy is working like a fucking... He's working like he's 25.
Yeah.
And he's not 25.
Because...
His body literally...
Late 40s.
His body literally... I think he's only like 42, 43.
That all? Okay, fair enough.
That's not that that's young. That's old, but not that that's young. For the shit that he's putting himself through.
Yeah, compared to all the shit he's jumped off of and through.
The last Darby Allin match I watched, I think, was the one at Double or Nothing, and he missed like 2 dives, and I thought he was dead. Like, I think Darby Allin is gonna die at some point. I love Darby Allin though, but he's
a little insane.
But he's got an issue of if he's not insane, what does he have?
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Excuse me there. What was the statement on Darby?
If he's not insane, what does he have?
I know. Because he can't really lean into the whole dark and face painted and that kind of thing gimmick, because you got not Dark Order so much doing that anymore, but you still got Death Triangle, you still got House of Black. Like, you can't really do that angle of it.
I just wonder what his shelf life is. You know what I mean? Because he's a talented guy and he can work. But then I look at him and I go, the only thing you do, you're literally trying to kill yourself. Some of the shit he does, you just go, oh my god, the fuck were you thinking?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But then you look at, like, deathmatch wrestlers and it's the same kind of thing. And they're getting paid less, I would bet, than Darby Allin is getting.
Oh, God, yeah.
I think Darby Allin is just trying to ride it as far as he can.
But what's harder on your body? Okay, getting hit in the head with a light tube or jumping off of something consistently and landing on the floor. I'd rather get hit with a fucking light tube.
We had this conversation before, like the injuries you sustain from, say, jumping onto a bunch of thumbtacks or through a plate glass window, they're gonna suck, but at least they're, you can get that stuff stitched up and be ready to go in a few weeks or whatever. Like, but what Darby Allin is doing, he's wrecking his body every week, over and over and over and over again, and it's going to come back to him. Like,
there is the one thing I think with AEW that I will give Vince McMahon credit for is he puts a governor on those guys. He doesn't let them kill themselves all the time. There's a time and a place, even in the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't, we're not going to do this there was like limits. That's why, like, the hardcore matches, sometimes you got something that was really crazy, but a lot of times you got silly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but now, like, in AEW, there's no governor on what the fuck they're doing, and it's just...
I don't know if that's necessarily true, because there's some stuff that they... Like, there's some stuff that they do in AEW that you wouldn't see in WWE, like pile drivers and stuff like that, but they still don't do headshots with the chairs. They still don't like, they don't do super dangerous stuff. No,
I'm talking more of the dives and shit, and what Darby Allin pretty much in particular.
Yeah.
They're willing to take those more risky dives. Those dives are something that look cool, but sometimes they're not needed necessarily. They're such an integral part of what they do, so I guess you can't really take them away.
Yeah.
So, Leon, do you have any other news?
That's pretty much the main thing this week.
Everybody's fucking hurt. Okay.
Yeah. Everybody of any type of importance in professional wrestling right now is hurt. Oh, also, just one more thing I want to geek out. Ace is coming to freaking... Oh, wait. Shit. Who's he going to wrestle now? That Punk's hurt. God damn it. Now I'm sad again. Fuck.
Who is? Oh, Ace. Tanahashi. Yeah.
Oh, Ace.
I was just thinking of that the other day.
Like, who's he going to fucking wrestle now that Punk's hurt?
Hopefully somebody.
I mean, I wouldn't know that.
When I put it in the show chat, like, I literally had goosebumps when he came out. I was fucking geeked out.
That was pretty cool.
He makes me happy. Yeah, he's fucking great. Like, yes, the dude is an amazing talent in ring and everything, but there's just something about his charisma and everything. It's through the roof. He's just... Ugh. Love watching that man.
He's got the it factor. I think he's going to end up fighting. Well, he's fighting for the belt. The interim AEW championship. Do they give it to him, or do they go, like, that's a great question, too. Because I don't know.
Wait, hold on. That was gonna be a title match? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Now he's fighting for the interim belt. So he's got to win a match, I think, this weekend. Yeah, this weekend he's got a match, and whoever wins that faces whoever wins the Moxley Battle Royal winner match for the interim belt. So maybe they are going to still do Punk Tanahashi, but I don't know if they'll do that. I don't know. That would be kind of cool, though.
It would be, yeah. I don't know how much time he has in the States, though, because he's still stationed in Japan. So I think it would matter. I think it would depend on that in particular. I want to pause for just a moment. Have either of you seen the poster for Hell in a Cell? Not the one that I shared, like the really cool one. There's like a poster for Hell in a Cell where it looks like Cody Rhodes is like putting his hands in his pockets. It's a really awkward pose. Like he looks like he's gonna fight somebody while he's putting his hands in his pockets and his arms are like bust like forward. Like, I don't understand it. I wanted to share the awkwardness of this picture.
He's like leaned forward and kind of flaring out his robe thing.
Is that what it is? Maybe that's what it is. It just looks goofy. That was it.
Hold on. I'm gonna send it to the chat real quick.
Yeah. While Leon is doing that, I just want to. I want to
sent it. It's there. Oh,
admit to my doubly earning this label in that the what was it, last week when we were talking about wrestlers after they were done wrestling, and I kept calling him Tony Kimmel. It's definitely Chimmel. So
that's what confused me. I knew who Tony Chimmel was. I didn't know who Tony Kimmel was.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
Okay. So I hadn't seen the bottom half. It makes a little bit more sense, but it still looks really weird.
It's a weird face. It looks like he's power walking and angry. Like he didn't get enough raisins. He didn't get enough raisins in his raisin bread that month. It's enough to piss a guy like Cody Rhodes off.
I mean, I would be pretty pissed about that too.
Snarl in his lip there, like. Oh
my fucking raisins!
Like, he's like flaring out the bottom half of his robe, but like, it's like it's attached in the front. So like, why is he doing that?
It's like a flamboyant fluff of his robe as he walks.
Whatever.
He's gonna take a curtsy. Maybe he's gonna curtsy. Maybe it's an angry curtsy.
Oh, maybe it's an angry curtsy. Okay.
There you go.
Okay, now there you go. I'm sold now. Now.
Are we ready, Dummy? Are we ready for Double or Nothing?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, first match: Hookhausen against Nice and Sterling.
I actually didn't get to see this.
Saw it. Did you see it, bud?
It was dope. I enjoyed this match. It wasn't okay. So like, obviously, it wasn't Danhausen's return to the ring as I had hoped, but he did get some time in there and he got his comedy in. As I think Town suggested, it was going to be basically those two doing comedy, Mark Sterling and Danhausen.
I thought it served its purpose. I thought the match itself was fun. Could have been better. Could have been worse. I don't know. It just was.
I think Hook and Nice need to have another match, which I think is what they're building up to. But I think those two can go.
They made Hook look pretty fucking strong because he just killed everybody. So the first match of the actual pay-per-view was Wardlow against MJF, and holy fuck was this weekend insane with MJF.
Yeah.
And that music hit, and I had no one knew if he was coming.
Mm-hmm.
And that music hits, and you're waiting, and you're waiting, and you're waiting, and he's not showing up. And I'm immediately thinking as I'm watching it, like, they're going to pull something. He's just not going to show up. They're going to do something weird. And then he comes out, and he's just... The heat was fucking nuclear for that guy.
It was.
And then he gets in the ring and does the airplane, and I popped so hard for that. This was a squash.
Yeah.
And I think they did that on purpose. And I think they did it seemed like it was a punishment for what he did. But I'm not convinced what's going on is 100. I think it started out as MJF being truly mad, but now I think it's a work. It's become a work.
It's gotten to a point where like I don't know where the work started and the like I don't know if the whole thing was a work. Like I don't know. And I think that's the brilliance of this whole situation.
The only thing I think is that Tony Khan would not work his own people because he knows enough about what happened in WCW to realize that you can't do that. I would hope. But then
what do you mean by that?
Eric Bischoff would always work people in the back of WCW. He constantly worked, so he was working his workers. So his workers weren't in on the work. I don't think Tony Khan did that. I don't think he would do that. I don't think he's that dumb.
Here's my thing. I see a lot of like CM Punk and Paul Heyman in MJF, not just in like his promos and stuff, but like the way that he does business. And so I think it is perfectly legitimate to me to think that MJF and Tony Khan sat down and said, "This is what we're going to do. We're going to make it look like that I left this show. I'm going to be mad about my pay, whatever."
I think he is mad about his pay.
Yeah.
I think he's fucking right to be mad about his pay.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, the only guy moving the needle more than him is Punk. And I remember Wednesday when that fucking promo was amazing.
It was.
And I sent you a text message right away and I said, this is their moment. This is their guy. They have to run with MJF. He's their fucking guy.
Mm-hmm.
And this match seems so important, and now it seems not important at all. And I don't know if that's good for Wardlow or bad for Wardlow.
Kind of bad for Wardlow, I think. Because his whole coming out party got overshadowed by all of Max's shenanigans.
That's a good point. Like Wardlow has his first match on contract with AEW in 3 years. MJF comes out to bitch about his contract. Who got a bigger pop? It was MJF by a landslide. And so I think you're right. I think it hurts Wardlow.
Because this whole turn. I mean,
don't you kind of feel though like
and
this reminds me a lot of Hangman, because they had this plan, this big huge plan for the babyface. They got the babyface to the moment. Hangman got the championship. Wardlow beat MJF, and then it was just like, okay, now what do we do? Like it's very identical, and I think it was you, Bud, last time we talked that said they struggle to do the follow up once they get there. They struggle when their babyface is a champion. Yeah. They're really good at the chase. They're not good at the next. And I think that's true. I think because now the struggle is, what the fuck are you going to do with Wardlow? Because Wardlow's money. Like Wardlow's going to be a huge star. He's either here or up there. You know what I mean? Like if they don't use him right here, he'll go there and he'll be a star. But I'm hoping that doesn't happen because I prefer to see him in AEW.
I mean, I don't know if he's going to go to WWE, but he might go somewhere else and make somebody a hell of a lot of money. Like I think
right now, if you talk to Vince McMahon and he told him he could have Wardlow, he'd have Wardlow on his show next Monday.
It doesn't seem like Wardlow would want to go to WWE. I could be wrong.
That's the vibe I got too.
You know, like
the way you talked about how they didn't even want wrestlers. There were people who were wrestling fans. All they wanted was just big athletes and shit.
That's going out the window.
Yeah, you got the sense that he doesn't really want to be there. So,
this match was a weird start, and it was very much not what I expected this match to be, and it was weird. I thought it was weird. It served its purpose, and Wardlow got a huge pop, but I think we just said, Wardlow was it was less about Wardlow and more about what the fuck's going on with MJF.
Yes.
So it took a little bit of the shine off of him.
I think...
Which is really unfortunate considering they put 3 years into this shit.
Yeah. I get the sense that, I have to disagree. I think that the match served its purpose on its own. I think if the other stuff hadn't been happening, this match would have been... I mean, as a match, it wasn't very much of a match. It wasn't what MJF and Wardlow could do given the time and the planning.
I guess that's what I'm saying. That was a little bit of a letdown because I thought the dynamic of the match they could have had playing the cat and mouse, and then MJF manages to somehow get away from him and cheat and get damaged, and then finally Wardlow gets this motherfucker.
Yeah.
You have a slow build to that crescendo, and then Wardlow just gets him and fucking destroys him like he did. The destruction that happened should have happened, but there should have been a little bit more of a cat and mouse before that.
Yeah. So. Yeah, stretch it out even longer into the match. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. All right. Hardy Boys, Young Bucks. I didn't think much of this match. This match lost me. The Young Bucks have had way better matches. The Hardys have had way better matches. This match was just kind of... It felt really like they didn't put any build into it, and it just kind of was there.
Yeah, they threw it together in a hurry.
And they were just hoping that people are going to care because it's the Hardys and the Young Bucks. So this match didn't do left for me. It wasn't bad. The wrestling was fine. The in-ring shit was fine, but it just was... And why did the Young Bucks lose? What's the point?
That's a great number. Great question.
I don't know if they're trying to continue that or what.
I don't know. I feel like the Young Bucks are kind of lost right now.
Yeah, they're not really.
I mean, they're not.
Yeah, like they have been an on-screen talent for the last 6 months, but not really much of a wrestling talent. Like they're not really wrestling that much, and so they came out, and I was like, oh, that's cool. They're gonna have this match, but also like, is it going to be good? And it wasn't a bad match. Like, it wasn't horrible, but they've had better matches, like you said.
I think some of the appeal is off the Hardys. And I think part of it is just the fact that we're having this nostalgic run. I had this nostalgic run a few years ago when they came back at WrestleMania and won the tag belts in the TLC match.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody knew they were going to fucking be there. And they managed to pull that off. That was amazing. That was really well done. This, to me, is just like... Matt Hardy's not had a great run in AEW.
Yeah.
It's been pretty flat.
Yeah.
And he really... What was he? He was a lower mid-card guy. That's all he was. And then they bring Jeff back, and now we're going to push him up the card. And I'm just like, I'm not seeing it. I don't dislike the Hardy Boys, but I just think they're not what they once were.
I think doing the Hardy shtick is better for him, for Matt.
I agree. I think
so
Broken
pushing up is a little bit better, but like he's still kind of flat. I would agree. I think maybe he's extended his creativity, or maybe they're building up to something else that's going to be even bigger. I mean, how many times has Chris Jericho reinvented himself? I think Matt Hardy has that ability, but
I think that's what they need to do, because right now they're just flat to me. They're not bad. Seeing Jeff come out, the music and shit that night was cool.
Yeah.
But then it's like, okay.
Well, the last time we had talked about, I think one of us had mentioned that the Hardy Boys from now are basically the Hardy Boys from 2002, 2003.
Yeah, they never changed. They
haven't really changed that much, and like, especially Jeff Hardy. So like, what do you do with that? You can only go so far with that. Like, it's cool, it's nostalgic, but like, I don't know that you can put those guys up against Red Dragon. I don't know that you can put them up against like Nick and Matt Jackson. I think
Nick and Matt Jackson are really fucking good. In this match, they couldn't be really fucking good. They had to be okay.
Yeah,
they were good.
They had to be a couple steps slower than they actually are.
Yeah, and that really just hurt the match to me. All right, enough ripping on the Hardys. I like the Hardys, so I do like the Hardys. I don't want to they were so incredible, and they did so many things in like the early 2000s and late 90s that they get a pass. But like, this was just not. It wasn't bad, but I didn't care. I
also think that Jeff was still hurting. I think maybe that had a big part in it.
Okay. Jade Cargill defeats Anna Jay. This was pretty fucking bad.
Yeah.
This was bad. Anna Jay looked absolutely lost like 90% of the time.
Very much like the Hardys Bucks thing. They like threw it together a week or two before.
I didn't care. Yeah. I didn't care, and this is a match I've already seen. And the first time these two had a match, I remember watching it and thinking, wow, that was way better than it should have been. And this time I watched it, I said, that fucking sucked. It was just not a good match.
Yeah, there's
no part of that match.
I want to argue with you so bad, but I can't remember any part of that match, so I have to.
Because that's
I'm
what
inclined
it was.
to think that you are right.
It was just there was a couple of weird botches, and it was a lot of nothing. Mm-hmm. It was just there. Like, we're at a point with Jade where we have to start seeing Jade do a little bit more.
Yeah.
And we...
Yeah, in that match, I mean, there's nobody there to, to call the match or whatever. There's nobody to take the lead in the match. And you can kind of tell they're both just kind of like, okay, what next?
Yeah. There was a post on the subreddit. Renee Paquette, I think that's how you pronounce her name, had noted that the AEW women's roster need to push more of the roster. Like, they need to spread that push out more. And I think this is like a perfect example of that, because like Anna Jay has sort of disappeared. Like, she doesn't get pushed that much, and so she showed up and she wanted to fight Jade Cargill. Okay, that's nice, but like, why am I supposed to care about that? Because AEW has conditioned us not to care about her at present because they don't have her on TV.
They don't have anything for her. Yeah. Yeah, that match was just not. It was put together bad, and it was. If they would have went out and had a decent match, I would have been okay with it. But it was off. It was not a good outing. Next up, House of Black defeats Death Triangle. I thoroughly enjoyed this, except for when what's Brody King almost killed himself a couple times.
Oh my god! Which time when he flipped over and smashed his back on the
exactly. Oh, this match was fun.
I thought this was the match of the night personally. I enjoyed this match more than any of the other ones on the card, except for maybe like one or two. I don't remember the entire card.
Would not put this. I would say this was in the upper half of the card. I would agree with you. Not number one though. This was a fun match.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ding it for the ending.
Yeah,
because Julia Hart coming out should have happened a long time ago, and it didn't have. It just kind of was like, oh, it's Julia Hart. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Finally, she joined. Like, no shit.
And it was I mean, it sort of seems like the thing that we were talking about last time. Like, it felt like a swerve for the sake of a swerve.
Yeah.
It felt like they were just trying to make Death Triangle chase the carrot a little bit longer, but like, you didn't have to do that.
I'm very, very, very intrigued as to what they're going to do with Julia Hart, because I don't know what Julia Hart is, because she's been a stupid cheerleader for like a year.
She doesn't fit into that group at all.
We don't know that. We don't know that. That's the thing.
Started wearing black clothing. No, I mean, all three of those guys in the group, they are killers in the ring. They can go. They're stiff. Their shit looks good. We've seen tiny little bits of her in the ring, it's worse than Jade and Anna Jay.
So here's the thing. Malachi Black has his hands all over the House of Black.
Mm-hmm.
Malachi Black's calling the shots on the House of Black. He picked Brody King. He picked Buddy Matthews. He would not have let her in if he didn't think something good was going to happen. That's what I'm going to say, and I trusted Malachi.
That's a fair point.
Because he never would have been like, we'll take her. Like, it wouldn't have happened. So I want to see what she's going to do. Like, I'm honestly intrigued about that. As much as I thought the ending was just kind of, what the fuck? I'm intrigued to see what she does.
Yeah.
Because I think it could be, we don't know. Because she's not done anything. She came out and acted like a cheerleader, and she's not a cheerleader. I can tell she's not a cheerleader by how she acts. So her gimmick was kind of So it's just like, I want to see where this is going to go. Because it could be fantastic. Like, we don't know. She could, next week on Dynamite, they could do a promo, and she could cut a promo and have Leon going, holy fuck, this is amazing. Like, we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Because that's how they booked her. Like, they haven't really done much with her. I feel like she's been doing some stuff in, like, Dark and Elevation, but I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, so, I'm not saying she's a great in-ring worker. That's not what I'm saying. But I don't think that's what she... But that's not what she brings to this group.
Right.
So, men's Owen Hart final. Adam Cole beats Samoa Joe. This was a fine match. I thought it was pretty good. The ending was weird. Kind of came out of nowhere. And I was just like, okay, it's over.
Yeah. I kind of felt the same way.
I initially was like, Samoa Joe should have won that match. And then I was like, Samoa Joe shouldn't have won that match. So I was okay with the ending. But with one, I just thought it was kind of a weird... It was weird. It was just weird. I thought the ending was kind of weird. It was like rushed, but it wasn't rushed. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It was just all of a sudden, boom, boom, boom. Joe's done.
It's done.
Yeah. I guess I expected the match between those two to be more. And maybe they'll have another match and it'll be better. Like, it wasn't bad, but it just wasn't... it just felt a little... meh.
Not that it's necessarily a fair comparison, but if you compare the two Owen Hart matches, I think the outing between Ruby Soho and Dr. Britt Baker was more of a wrestling match. Whereas Adam Cole and Samoa Joe I mean, it's weird to say it wasn't a wrestling match. I think it was more like the ending was sort of like it wasn't a swerve even. Like it was just like somebody ran in, and then that's I sort of just felt like, okay, so the thing that we're putting on the first contestant, the first person who won this trophy, is that he cheated to win it. Like that doesn't feel like, as we discussed last time, like that doesn't feel like Owen Hart.
He didn't. Well, now hold on. That feels exactly
fair,
like Owen
fair.
Hart. But the cheating even was kind of. It was just weird. Everything was just weird about it. It was just. It was just a weird. It was a weird match, and I didn't dislike it because the wrestling was okay. It was good. Like those two can both work. Mm-hmm. But I just, at the end of it, I was just like, well, that was weird. And I think that's a really good description of the first half of the whole entire pay-per-view, was like a weird indifference, which isn't normally how it is. Mm-hmm. Because the in-ring work was all great, except for Jade and Anna Jay. It was not good. But the rest of it was fairly good, and the Hardys were a little, but like, it was just weird. It almost feels like the show had a vibe, and it's just like, this is kind of how it's going, and everybody was following suit, and nobody wanted to break that, because it was flat. I thought it was flat.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like none of it was bad, but it was just kind of okay. But that'll take us right into Dr. Britt Baker beating Ruby Soho for the Women's Owen Hart Tournament final, and I agree with Bud. I like this match a lot more.
This is an amazing match. I loved it.
This match was like, to me, this is when this whole fucking show turned.
Yeah. It didn't hurt that they've been teasing this match for a year.
No.
But I think both of them can go, and both of them have chemistry in the ring.
I stand by the comment I made where them taking the championship off of Britt Baker was the stupidest thing they ever did. I love Thunder Rosa, and I'm glad she's a champion, but Britt Baker is just fucking on fire and better than everybody else.
Yeah.
So, I was surprised Soho lost, because I thought this could be her moment, and I almost think Soho needed it more. But I think Baker and Cole winning it was kind of cool too. That made the whole that was.
I feel like I think they did that for the optics of those two together.
I do too.
I agree with you that I think Soho needed it more, and not because she's worse off than Britt Baker, but like she hasn't had screen time, at least not on Dynamite. I think she's been on Rampage more than that.
And she hasn't had that. Well, on Dynamite this week, she beat Baker. She pinned her. Mm-hmm. But are we going to get a feud? If we get a feud out of it, then I'm okay. The problem with this feud, though, is if Baker and Soho have a feud, it's going to outshine the Women's Championship.
Yeah.
Because there's no way it can.
Yeah.
Just because of who's involved. But Leon, what did you think of this one?
Just solid back and forth, beating the crap out of each other. I liked it.
Yeah, it was good. Good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's just fun. Those two can both freaking go. I'd like to see an extended feud between those two. Mm-hmm. I would tune in for that.
I almost think that's what they have to do. That was a good match, though. Okay, American Top Team beats Frankie Kazarian, Guevara, and Ty Conte. I fucking love Sammy Guevara and Ty Conte. I fucking love them. They're so stupid, and they're annoying, and they're fucking amazing. I want to walk up to Sammy Guevara and just punch him in the face because he's such an idiot.
Well, I think it was you, Leon, that noted that it was basically five heels and one face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a goofy. This is a very goofy match.
The only fucking face in that match.
It was so Paige Van Zandt didn't look good or bad. She looked like she didn't really know what she was doing, and all of her shit was pretty simple. Yeah. But she did fine with it. I thought she did fine. This whole match to me was Sammy Sammy and Conti, every time they turned around, they were like kissing or making out or celebrating. I thought it was fucking amazing. And then he super kicks her. I was just like, this is the greatest fucking match I've ever seen. In terms of in-ring, this wasn't the best match I've ever seen.
No.
Well,
But in terms of pure fucking entertainment value, I was entertained to no end in this match. I love this match.
This reminded me of what was that match that we watched in GCW, The World? Cardona versus Janela.
Yes.
Like, it reminded me of that. It was just
Yes.
like it was like it was a circus.
Fun.
It was fun. Yeah.
It was just fun. Everything was fun. I don't know what they're going to do with them. I don't know. Scorpio Sky, they got to give Scorpio a run. They got to have him start defending that belt a little bit. To me, though, the stars were Sammy and Ty. They just are... Just put them on TV and let them get heat.
Yeah.
That's all they need to do. That's all they need to do. This match was fun. Kyle O'Reilly defeats Darby Allin. I thought this match was solid.
Mm-hmm.
it feels like they're starting to push Kyle a lot.
They have something planned for him. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a great match. I thought Darby Allin was going to die a few times. He lived. He ate
this time.
When he took that knee to the face.
Yeah, the knee to the fucking face was brutal.
Yeah.
But this was another one that didn't have a lot of build up, but the Sting thing, so it kind of makes sense. So I'm not sure where they're going with that. I have no idea. I like this match though.
I wonder if they were going to do what we were talking about last time, that they were going to have Red Dragon versus Darby and Sting, but that Sting was injured.
Was he real injured or was he kayfabe injured?
I don't know.
I thought he was kayfabe injured, but okay. Maybe he's really injured. Good match. That was a good match. It was solid and nothing bad about it. Thunder Rosa defeats Serena Deeb to retain the AEW Women's Championship. This match had phenomenal fucking wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
This match did not have the most crowd interaction. This match did not have the best build. This match got like no response. Like the crowd was dead silent to like a quarter of the way, halfway through it. Then they kind of picked up. This was a really fucking good wrestling match.
I mean, yeah, I think that's where
I like good wrestling matches.
What'd you say?
I said I like good wrestling matches.
Yeah.
They make me happy.
I think Deeb and Rosa are not always great on the mic. I think this is where they killed it, though. Like when they're in the ring, both
really
of them can go. Yeah, it was just an amazing match. This was possibly one of the ones that I thought, this one is better than the Death Triangle other guys match. House of Black, that's who they are.
Yeah.
Guys.
I thought it was a good match.
Yeah.
Anarchy in the Arena.
Oh my god.
Oh my fucking god.
My one and only gripe about this match is that Chris Jericho turned off Wild Thing.
I thought it was perfect.
I know why they did it. It made perfect sense.
I watched the Jericho Appreciation Society come out in all white, dressed like a fucking boy band, and immediately I'm like, they are fucking bleeding, and they are bleeding everywhere.
Yep.
And then Moxley's music hits, and they all come out from a different area, and everybody's wearing fucking white.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is going to be a goddamn bloodbath. And that match, it wasn't even a match. That fight fucking starts. Everybody's bleeding. All this shit's going on. The song just keeps playing. I'm like, oh, this is insane. This is awesome. And then when it restarts, I swear to God, I popped for real on my couch. I was like, holy fuck, this is amazing. This match was fucking nuts.
It was.
It was fucking nuts. It was like a fucking car crash.
Oh my god, the mustard. I loved that. Where he just squirted mustard on him. I think what was that? Kingston squirting it on Danny, whoever. Like, oh Jesus. It was an amazing match. Like,
just Leon's right, it was just chaos. It was just chaos from start to finish. That thing was a fucking amazing match.
I think
it was fun.
The thing that I loved most about it was that it was like most 5-way matches, they have like a rhythm to them where it's like 2 guys and everybody else is out. It's 2 guys, and this one was like 4 or 5 hardcore matches going on at the same time.
Yep.
And each one of them had their own cameraman, so they were constantly switching between, which was a little nauseating, but like at the same time,
No, but it was so.
What's this guy doing? What's this guy doing? It was awesome.
To that, I would say we've been trained to watch these matches in WWE style, where if you have a multi-man match, you know, somebody gets thrown out of the ring, the other two guys go, so they come back in, and you do that constant switch. This was totally different, and that's why it was. So, I thought it was just fucking amazing to watch. Because we're here, and this is going on. Then we're over here, and this is going on. Then I'm over here, and this is going on. You felt what they felt in the arena of like, holy shit, this is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
This is absolutely nuts. And I think that is something that, like, Vince McMahon, they don't want to do that. Because they want to put the focus on, you know, they want to put focus on these guys, and these guys come in. And I understand that. I'm not saying that's bad, but this was completely opposite.
I don't think Tony Khan does that either. I think that's what made this match so unique, was that they have 10 guys who can go, and so they just let all 10 of them go all at once, and they had the wherewithal to be like, we need 5 cameras, we need 5 guys on foot to follow these guys around, so we capture everything. Like, it reminded me of New Jack matches, but in a New Jack match, there's one camera, right? Like, you can only follow one guy.
You couldn't have. I don't think you could have played the music the whole time. Because I think it would have got old, and I think it would have been like way too long. But the fact that Chris Jericho, who's in a fucking metal band, ripped the music out, I thought was absolutely the most fucking perfect thing ever. And I also thought that Jericho Appreciation Society had to win this match.
Yeah.
And I liked the ending, because the ending's setting up something. They're setting up Kingston and those guys against the Blackpool, which is what I said. Yeah. That was a fucking fun match. Matt Menard also is one of my favorites. I love that name. Matt Menard. And he's got a big head.
He does. He sure does.
All right, now for the most confusing match of the night. Jurassic Express defeats Keith Lee, Swerve, and Team Taz.
Most confusing?
Yeah, what are they doing with the tag belts? Because I don't know anymore.
Okay.
That's how I felt. Like, this match was fucking amazing. This match was amazing.
Yeah.
Somebody jumped over the rope and fucking botched it, and Keith Lee's like, whoa, did you see that? That was fucking great. I popped for that.
Keith Lee throwing himself over the top rope.
Oh, God.
I don't know. We're like dangling this carrot of Christian turning. And just like the thing with Julia Hart, you can't dangle that fucking carrot forever. When's it going to happen? You know? So
yeah, because if they string it too long, then it sort of doesn't make sense. Kind of the same as Julia Hart. Like,
when are we gonna see them lose, and who are they gonna lose to? Are they gonna lose to FTR? Because FTR is the greatest. They're the greatest team in the world right now.
That'd be as good a one as you could possibly hope for.
Or do they lose to Red Dragon? I mean, like, what are we doing? I think it's FTR, but when are we doing that? Like, where are we going? Like, I guess I feel like the tag belts don't have a direction, and that's the first time I've said that in a while.
I think if anybody was going to win this match, it was Team Taz, like we had mentioned. I think the fact that Team Taz didn't win it probably it leads me to believe that you're right, that they're going to put them on FTR.
Yeah,
because FTR is their draw, and FTR is not chasing any AEW gold right now. They were in the Owen Hart thing for a hot second, and now they're not.
ROH.
So
ROH.
Yeah.
This is a good match, so I enjoyed this.
Yes.
And now for Bud, the match that Bud disagrees with. CM Punk defeats Hangman Page, become the AEW World Champion.
Best in the world.
This match gets top match for me for the night. And here's why. This match had a story, and they told a story. And at the end of the match, I felt like both guys were in a better spot than when they started.
Yep.
Bud's rolling his eyes at me.
I'm not rolling my eyes. I'm thinking. I don't know that I disagree with you. I think you're right. I think both of them. I mean, CM Punk, obviously, by winning the title, he gets somewhere, right? But like,
yeah,
the problem is always, what do you do with Hangman afterwards? And I think now you have this, you set up this like conflicted ego of Hangman that, okay, is he going to become a bad guy now? Like, he's close to doing it. And now he can look back at that match and go, if I had only done it, I would still be champion.
Yeah. Yeah. I know that you didn't. I know that you thought Hangman should have won, which is why you have the word "dummy" written on your head.
Yeah.
And I don't disagree with that. If I was in Tony Khan's shoes, I think I would have done the same thing, because I would have looked at Hangman's title reign and been like, "This is not working. This has not been good."
So,
that's booking. That's not Hangman's fault.
Yeah,
that's booking.
Yeah, I think the reason I think Hangman should have won, and I still believe this. I believed it before, and I will take this to my grave. Like, I think Hangman's run was not awful. It was not like he wasn't. He was fighting legitimate contenders, Adam Cole
I agree.
and Daniel Bryanson.
I agree.
But on the other hand, builds weren't there.
Wait, whoa.
What?
Who the fuck is Daniel Bryanson?
Oh, right. Diane Branielson. So he fought Diane Branielson.
That's my new favorite wrestler.
Your argument was great. Daniel Bryanson.
I keep telling you, I can't tell them apart. My point is that they had this run that I'm just going to wait until you're done.
Okay, go ahead, bud.
It's fair. I just think that run was not awful, and just by a win over CM Punk, they could have turned it around. They could have set up a series of great matches and made his run much better, because you're right, like, the focus has not been on him. The focus has been on the ex-WWE guys. However, I will say that now with this MJF promo, he's bringing up the fact that these ex-WWE guys are getting all the spotlight. So, like, it sort of makes sense. Perhaps they are setting something up with Hangpage, whatever his name is, either like with MJF directly or with this ex-WWE thing, because he sort of alluded to that. Like,
yeah,
I'm saving AEW from you, which that would be awesome if they got Hangman.
So are we looking at a new NWO situation?
No, I don't think so.
I think bitter, angry Hangman will be amazing.
Yeah.
I think this is going to work well. I think this will be I think it'll be great for Hangman. Because I don't know what happened. I don't know how it was like they forgot how to book him.
Yeah.
And they just kind of, like, he just went into this weird state of flat. They had
other focuses. I think that's really what it was.
I do too. I think that he kind of there was a pecking order that he fell down because Punk's their guy.
Yeah.
Like, and I get that. Punk's the guy. What did you think of did you think the right guy won? Did you like the way it went down?
Yeah. Yeah, because I think Hanger's better with the chase than running out in front.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. Like, that's kind of what his career has been, is the chase, primarily. Even before AEW.
I mean, people get behind that. He didn't have he still had support. I'm not saying, like, everybody turned on him and abandoned him, but he was much, much strong. The support was much, much stronger when he was on the chase.
Yeah.
It was interesting because it was like when he beat Kenny Omega, that was like the moment for me. That was the whole moment of that whole fucking year.
Mm-hmm.
That was the moment. That was the culmination of everything. That was the biggest moment of professional wrestling last year. You could argue whatever you want. It was that. That was the biggest moment. That's bigger than Punk coming back. That's bigger than Cole and Brian, Daniel Bryanson,
Diane
maybe.
Branielson. You're saying it wrong.
that was like the moment. That was like the moment of like, that's what needed to happen. That's the guy. Now they got to go, and they didn't go.
Yeah,
like they didn't go. They didn't do anything with him. They didn't run with it, and it just, I don't know, because you'd watch a show, you'd watch Dynamite, and CM Punk would have like a match and then a 5-minute interview, and MJF would have all this time and like the Young Bucks and this and that, and then your world champion comes off for like 30 seconds.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's not featured. Why are we not featuring this guy? And they just, I don't know what the thought process was. Because one of the highlights of Kenny Omega's title reign was that he was the fucking centerpiece.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was on every show. He was doing something on every show. And heel Kenny Omega was amazing. Like, he was incredible. His run was incredible. His champion was incredible.
The cleaner.
He might have the best run of anybody as champion in the company. Him or Moxley. Jericho's run wasn't bad. Moxley's was fantastic.
I really enjoyed Moxley's for his matches.
Yeah, and Moxley's a different kind of thing. But Omega's, I think, in terms of like storytelling, Omega's was pretty fantastic.
I almost wonder if Paige's run suffered because of Omega. I wonder if they were going to do more stuff with him and Omega had to leave, so they were like, well, what the fuck do we do now?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Because
I
think after he took the title from Omega, I don't remember him on TV very much until he started the program with.
Well, he opened the Dynamite and got a big pop, and then they just had an interview, and then whatever, and then it was like 2 weeks, and then he had to fight the Murderer Bird.
The Murder Bird.
Murder Bird.
And Murder Bird needs to stop fighting for the championship. I like Murder Bird, but like Murder Bird is at a point where
he's almost like Nia Jax of the world title. Like somebody new wins the title, and there's the Murder Bird.
Are you talking Nyla Rose?
Fuck! I am so sorry, Rose. My bad, Nyla. I can't believe I just mixed those two up.
She's coming to your house now. She's gonna whoop your ass.
I do it all the time.
No, forget whooping my ass. She's just gonna fucking make me. She's just gonna clown on me on social media. Then
that might be worse. She's very good at that.
That would actually be really good for the show. Can we make that happen?
Dear God.
Just Nyla Rose's tweet. Leon is a fucking idiot.
No, she'd be more succinct than that. Not succinct. There'd be more snark.
Yes. I know we're not talking about Nyla Rose necessarily, but I'm just in this moment remembering the bit that she did about how she watches
she's
TV.
Amazing on social media.
Yes.
She is. But I think that's a good comparison of what Murder Bird has become.
Yeah.
He's not the fun guy Danhausen talked to anymore. He's kind of there. He's kind of lost all his momentum, and they don't know what to do with him. I get like a WWE Big Show vibe out of him. Sometimes he's face, sometimes he's heel. He's a big guy. He's supposed to be a monster, but he never fucking wins important matches. He's like your gatekeeping monster, which is exactly what Big Show was. So I don't know.
It's not really a great spot, particularly for him, because I think he's got such a unique look and a unique style.
He's the fucking Murder Bird. He's the Murder Bird.
That's what they should do. They should have him and Danhausen. Murderhausen. Murder Bird.
Danhausen's just form his own fucking alliance there. And then he could also have the Ass Boys in it. Rod and Todd Ass. Oh my god, that never gets old. Then bring Orange Cassidy back as a heel. And have him just be like, whatever. Boomy. Let's be a heel, like the worst heel ever. And have him form a new group with like ridiculous people and have him feud.
Yeah, okay.
There you go. Cash money.
Yeah. They can be AEW's NWO.
I don't think I could boo Orange Cassidy.
I don't think
I
I
could do it. I don't think I could do it. It's too amazing.
We're heels. I mean, I think you summed it up quite well.
I liked the show. Yeah. I thought the first part of it was flat, but overall I liked the show. The show had really good wrestling. I think AEW's in a really tricky spot right now because they're trying to. They've grown so fast, and they've got so much momentum, and they have so many workers. They're trying to figure out who's important and how they're going to get them all on. I feel it's like me playing TEW when I sign way too many people because that's what I do. And then you like, well, let's just put together a bunch of multi-man matches, And sometimes that's the vibe I get from Tony Khan. Is sometimes I think he's got shit really well thought out. And other times it's just like, this sounds like a good idea for today.
Yeah.
So, and that's kind of like the Jade Cargill match and the Hardys and the Young Bucks. Like, that's a big match. Those are two of the greatest teams ever. Let's just put them together. That sells itself.
Which
it didn't.
That could be an amazing match, and it has been. They've fought together apparently twice.
Yeah.
But like, you need to set it up more than a week in advance.
You gotta do way more. I guess I'm curious to see where we're going for September. Which one's in September? Is it All Out? Yeah, it's All Out.
Sure.
Where are we going for All Out? Like, what are we going to do? Like, is Punk going to be back? Yeah, I'm just curious to see. Because right now it's like, I don't know. I guess realistically last year at this time I also couldn't see where they were going.
Mm-hmm.
But last year at this time I didn't realize CM Punk was coming back. I didn't realize Bryan Danielson was going to be in the company. I didn't realize Adam Cole. Like, they had all that, and you can't keep reaching into that fucking debut thing. You can't keep pulling names.
Yeah.
At some point that has to stop, and I think I also look at, like, what's his face? Johnny Elite. Why is he even there? He's not doing anything. He doesn't need to be there.
I don't know.
He's just the body.
I sort of like.
He's on a paper appearance, so he's not actually.
Yeah.
They're going to use him periodically, which is fine. But like, is he going to bring anything? They're ever going to do anything serious with him?
Like I see him as like what Matt Cardona is doing. I think he's just going to hop around those 5 companies or 4 companies, whatever it is. GCW, Impact. He can do it. Like Eddie Kingston was doing the same thing for a while, and I think that's how he gets his name. I mean, not that he doesn't have a name already, but like that's how he gets his face seen on TV.
Does he ever go back to the E though? I don't think he does. I think that bridges.
I don't know that they want him.
No, I don't think they do.
Maybe they do. I don't know. I also don't think that he wants to be there.
I think one of the biggest things right now for AEW is we're at a point where we know who your top stars are. And your top stars are good. But we got to start looking at some of these younger guys, these guys that aren't your top stars. We got to start looking at a Jungle Boy. We got to start looking at Sammy Guevara. Like, some of these guys got to start picking up their game. Like, Sammy Guevara could be in the main event scene. And Jungle Boy needs that Christian feud, and then boom, push him. There you go.
Yeah.
And I think we're at a point where I love the way they've been building Jungle Boy. It's been slow and it's been methodical, and they're going to keep doing that, and that's perfect. Because I'm telling you, when he wins a championship, it's going to be fucking huge. But they have to start getting a little bit of something going on, I think, with some of these mid-card guys. Because
go ahead.
They're just kind of there, and they're having really good matches, but they're not necessarily. We're not getting new guys into that main event scene. We're not getting new. You know what I mean? And I feel like a year ago they did that a lot better. Now there's a reason for that, and the reason is now you have Punk.
They had kind of a vacuum. They had kind of a vacuum at the top at that point. Now it's kind of
Punk
over.
And Bryan and Moxley and this guy and this guy and this guy. But we still need some new blood in there. A year ago this pay-per-view was main evented by fucking Orange Cassidy.
Mm-hmm.
which was fantastic. But like they have to start pulling those guys. Like they made Orange Cassidy a fucking star.
Yeah.
And they've got to start pulling that off a little bit with some of these other guys that can sort of be AEW guys. Because right now, Hangman's an AEW guy, but Punk's not.
Yeah.
And Brian's not, and Moxley's not really an AEW. You know what I mean? They have to start pulling some of these guys that are considered homegrown, even though they're not necessarily. You know what I'm saying? Some of these guys that are trying to become stars there, and I think that's where we are with this company right now. Is they got to get some more Britt Bakers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's one big upside to MJF's promo, whether it even goes anywhere, is that MJF.
Oh, I think it will.
I'm sure it will. But even if it doesn't, he's pointing the finger and saying, "Look, you brought in all these ex-WWE guys. What happened to all these guys who were the pillars, who were the people?" And I don't think that, like, you can't listen to that promo and think, well, we're just going to keep running the ship the same way. I mean, if you're Vince McMahon, you would, but like Tony Khan, he has his ear to the talent too much to ignore the fact that, you know, guys like Orange Cassidy, guys like even Danhausen. Like Danhausen is new, but he has a lot of value to that company, and they gotta bring those guys up.
I look at like Cassidy and I look at Danhausen and I think when they gave Orange Cassidy more TV time, he excelled.
Yeah.
Like his feud with Jericho was fucking top notch. Like they truly made a star with that. And I look at like Danhausen and I'm like, Danhausen gets like 45 seconds on Dynamite. You actually got to do something with him. You got to give him a little more.
I think Eddie Kingston, is a great example of that. Like,
oh yeah,
that's a guy he's on the verge. He's on the verge.
Eddie Kingston is a guy who is like one really good promo or really good match away from like legitimately being a world championship contender.
Yeah,
like we're right there with him, and that's another guy. And I'm still shut up, Leon. I know what you're laughing about, the fire ant thing or whatever, the worker ant. Wasn't funny. Fuck Eddie Kingston. But we gotta get some new guys in there.
Yeah.
And I just think there's such a group in that mid card that is so fucking talented. And I just don't want to see what like the WWE has, where you have all your good guys in the mid card, and then your top guys are your top guys, and they never do anything else. Yeah. And they weren't doing that like a year ago. A year ago, these top guys are pulling up these other guys. Like we're going to pull up an Orange Cassidy, we're going to pull up Pac, we're going to pull up all these guys, and we're going to have different matches with them, and we're going to give these guys a rub. And that's I think what they need to do, because they're not doing that the same they were. But I get marquee matches. Like I understand that marquee matches sell. But
I mean, or God forbid they do something. They act like WCW and their entire focus is on the ex-WWE guys. You know,
don't do that.
I mean, I want to believe you. I want to believe you, but they keep bringing up these WWE guys, and guys like Orange Cassidy and even Eddie Kingston are getting buried.
The problem with it is you needed Chris Jericho. This company doesn't get off with Chris Jericho. And then when Moxley came, holy fuck, that was like exactly what you wanted it to be. But when you start pulling Punk and Bryan Danielson and like Adam Cole, like those guys aren't necessarily WWE guys, because they're not that WWE style. Mm-hmm. They were there and they made a name there because they were really fucking good. But they're not necessarily like what I just want to call him Bryanson, but it's Danielson. What Danielson's doing now is nothing like what he did in WWE.
Right. Yeah.
And what Cole's he's kind of running the same shtick, but that's okay, because he was never on the main route. But like those guys are, you can't tell me if you were running a promotion and you got a chance to land those four guys, you'd be like, I can't have them. They're WWE guys. You'd be like, come on in.
Yeah.
You know, like, yes, please.
They're amazing, and they should be there. But they need to start working with some other. You know, we got to get some other guys in there.
But conversely, those are the guys that are getting the spots.
Yeah.
Like Adam Cole showed up, and he's the guy that's getting the spot. And I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve the spot, but like there's a way that you can give that guy the spot and still work with the guys you've already been building up. Yeah. I mean, they did sort of the same thing. They did that with CM Punk. Like CM Punk started essentially at the bottom, and he was fighting guys like Powerhouse Hobbs. He was fighting guys like, I mean, look at his run. Like, he was not facing main event guys. He was facing AEW guys who were mid-card. And he was bringing those guys up.
That's what we need. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
We gotta get a little more interaction with those guys. Give those guys a chance and actually give them... Because Punk fought Hobbs, and he gave Hobbs... Hobbs did more offense in that match than Punk did.
Yes.
Yeah,
he did.
So, I'm just curious to see where it's going. I think they're okay. I think they'll be fine. As much as sometimes I question what they do, I don't ever sit there and this is something that I'm very happy for, because if this happens, then I'll be really depressed. Where I watch a show and then I feel like, boy, I'm fucking stupid. Because let me tell you what, if I turn on the E every fucking time I watch it, boy, I feel fucking stupid for watching that, and I don't feel that way with AEW.
Yeah.
Though I will say again, the Cody Rhodes thing has me intrigued. Just because they're doesn't mean I'm going to turn it on or anything like that. But.
And my hope is that they look at the numbers that they made at Hell in a Cell. Presumably, I don't know if they were any good, but my hope is that they look at that and say, let's roll with this guy and let's find other people who are going to give us similar matches. And then you wind up with guys like Cesaro.
The rumor is Cesaro's coming back, and the rumor is Wyatt's coming back.
I mean, I would rather they came back to AEW, but if they go to WWE and they make WWE even just watchable again, I would be happy.
Yeah, I guess I don't know how I feel about Cesaro and Bray. I think Bray and AEW would be interesting, but I don't really know where would he fit. And then like Cesaro, if Cesaro comes to AEW, what's he gonna do? You know what I mean? Like they don't have a spot for him.
I think I could see Cesaro in there more than the Fiend.
Oh yeah, but they've got too many people. They really have too many people. They have so many people on this roster, and at some point they're gonna have to. They're already letting people go like Janela. I love Joey Janela. I don't know if you know that. I think he's amazing. I don't think he's the best worker, but he's fun. And you just kind of watch him and you go, he's a fun guy. Set his fucking foot on fire for a super kick. It was pretty stupid. Yeah. Couldn't get it out. But then I look at losing Joey Janela to he's in Game Changer now, and like Game Changer Wrestling's pretty fucking fantastic. Like, they're doing some good stuff over there, so I don't feel bad for him. I think that's where he belongs. And I think that it's got that ECW vibe of being third, because it's clearly third. Sorry, Impact, but it's clearly third. And
dang,
I mean, we're getting there.
We're getting a balance that we haven't had in professional wrestling literally since like 1998, 99, where you have two big companies. Granted, one's up here and one's like here, because WWE is way bigger than AEW. It's just the way it is. But AEW is starting to get some momentum. They've had momentum for a while. They have some stars. They haven't always had stars. Now they have some stars. They are able to compete. They're pulling right around 1 million viewers every week, which in this current TV market is fucking insane if you think about it, because nobody watches TV anymore. And then you have like a viable third company in GCW, and you also have Impact. So like, there's options. There's enough wrestling to watch, which hasn't been the case for a really, really long time.
Yeah. I mean, you can almost say that you can just completely forget about WWE, because you have so many options that are actually professional wrestling. Like you have AEW, you have Impact, you have Ring of Honor, you have GCW, you have NJPW if you want to, fork over for NJPW World. Like, there's a lot of options out there.
I think that's what you and I have done.
Yeah.
I don't watch WWE. Leon still does, but Leon doesn't watch it nearly like he used to. Like, we don't watch it the way we did. I don't watch it at all.
Mm-hmm.
I read about it.
I used to be like up to date constantly, and
Yeah.
but now it's like, okay, every few weeks or month plus, I'll take a night when I'm off and just power through as much as I can while barely watching and scrolling on my phone the whole time, like, you know. Then I'll catch up. Usually around the time of a pay-per-view or something. Excuse me. Premium live event.
Premium live events.
Thank you, Leon. Thank you, Leon.
We need to have some premium live events.
For the BREWDCAST?
Yeah.
I like it. Let's do it. Nah, I thought the show was good. I thought the whole... I thought it was a good show. I'm curious to see where they're going.
This is what I want to see. And I don't think either of these things is going to happen, but this is what I want to see. I want to see Eddie Kingston. I don't want to see you cut your eyeball out. I want to see Eddie Kingston, Orange Cassidy feud. Because now that we've seen that clip,
Fuck you.
I think it needs to happen.
Yeah, you know what needs to happen in that? They go to the ring, Orange Cassidy, Orange punches him and pins him in 3 seconds.
But how amazing would that be? How amazing would it be for Eddie Kingston to, like, come out and give this fiery, impassioned promo, and then Orange Cassidy comes out, hit his music, and everybody's popped, and he's just like, whatever, and he walks away. Like, I want to see that. I need that in my life. The other thing that I want to see...
They need to get Orange Cassidy back.
They do.
They need to get him away from Best Friends.
Yeah.
They need to just let him be his own thing.
Yeah.
Unless he's with Danhausen.
I could see them putting those two together.
Tag team champions for life.
And the other thing I would like to see is Eddie Kingston, MJF, and Hangman Page in a stable. Or even just in a loose alliance. I would love that. It's not going to happen. Because those three guys, you can do so many different things with them.
What the fuck happened to the Pinnacle?
I don't think it really exists anymore.
Like, they were doing an angle...
Wardlow left, FTR left.
Did FTR leave?
Yeah.
FTR never left. They never...
turned face. Like,
yeah, but
like, not officially, but...
Yeah.
Because I felt like they were gonna rebuild the Pinnacle and kick FTR out and have like a new team join. Whoever the hell that would have been, I wouldn't know. But that's what I felt like they were gonna do.
I don't think that's it. Because I think MJF, is forging out on his own.
I think MJF needs to be by himself.
And I think Sean Spears is fucked. Honestly.
Yeah.
I don't like. What do you do with that guy?
You can't put Sean Spears with MJF right now. Can't do it. Can't do it. And I don't know what the hell they're gonna do with him. They could put him with somebody else. I don't know, bud. What do you got? I think we're good. I think we hit everything we need to hit.
Yeah. I think that's
outro
our
us, bud. Outro us.
So that's about it for that's a wrap. Tune in next week when we talk about the size of Dave Bautista's penis.
74 inches.
That's not what I hear. I hear much bigger. So that's a good night. Say good night, Leon.
Hi, Leon.
God bless Danhausen and Orange Cassidy and Diane Branielson.
Yes.
Orange Cassidy's the man. I just want to say that.
Wilson, Jesus Christ.
Fucking bud.
Bootwig.